Right, hi everyone. So today we are having our lovely Canva Q&A, and we have now started doing a themed Q&A. So today we have got the theme all around Facebook. So we're going to look at aspects or answering questions about using Canva and how you would make the best of it for Facebook. And we have the lovely Laura Ann. Laura Ann Williams is from Get Social, and she is a social media expert. She does various sort of workshops, and she also does scheduling for people. I've referred work her way, and she's a lovely, lovely lady, and looking forward to hearing what she has to say as well. So I'm going to now put it over into gallery view so I can look at everyone. So is there anyone who would like to go first with a question? I've enabled screen sharing, so if you want to share your screen. Okay, Joanna Stokes, if you unmute yourself, and you should be able to share your screen if you want to, or just ask a question.
Hi, thank you. I can't stay for the whole session, so I just wanted to get in first and ask my question, if that's okay.
That's okay.
I do use Canva, but very basic stuff that I've taught myself. And a couple of questions. So I have a new group Facebook page, and I have created a banner, on Canva, a banner photo thing. But when I've created it in Canva, it's not the right size, even though I've chosen the Facebook banner preset template thing. When I then go to put it in Facebook, it's too small, and it doesn't, even when you shift it, it then loses some of the text off one side. And I just wondered, have I done something wrong, or a Facebook?
No, so this is one of my biggest bugbears about Canva, that there'll be templates that were created previously. I mean, Canva's been going for quite a long time now, so, and the social media sizes have changed over that time.
Right.
And so the thing is, I found by doing a bit of research and trial and error that optimizing it for the mobile use, which is slightly more square. It's not square, it's still landscape, but whereas the Facebook template on Canva is very, very landscape, it's sort of optimized for more of a desktop user. But the problem is that it's then going to chop off the ends when you look at it on a mobile, and you have to think about how many people are looking at your thing on mobile. So there are going to be compromises. So to answer your question, I have actually got some sizes, and at some point I will do a handy like downloadable like PDF or resource with it. So I do my group size as see, I've got it here, and it's 1640 by 856 pixels is a group size, and they vary. So on a page, I've got mine set up to being 820 by 462 pixels.
When you say on a page, do you mean when you're just making
as in a business page? Because you've got all the different things. So you've got your personal profile page, which has slightly different dimensions. You've got the business page, you've got groups, and then you've got events. And they're all different sizes. For God's sake.
How do you find the size then? If you don't know what it is, does Facebook have somewhere it tells you what the...
I think they have said, I can't remember what they say their size at the moment. There is some good resources out there. And in fact, I found a site the other day, which I'm sharing as a post tomorrow, which it says it's got all the images, but I don't know whether that's more for posts. But there are various resources. I don't know if Laura Ann, you've got...
I was going to say, if in doubt, just Google it.
Yeah, that's how I found it.
Yeah,
but I've also done the screen grabs
the
as well.
Most recent results.
Okay.
Yeah, because it does change, because I don't know how many of you guys here on the call have tried out new Facebook. So I tried the new Facebook and I hated it because there were certain things that I couldn't do anymore. So I've reverted back. But as of, I think, beginning of September, there's no choice. Facebook is forcing you. And so that's changed how the group cover image looks, because it adds in this big bar, coloured bar at the bottom of the image. So that impacts. So you then have to kind of move it around or adjust it. So you have something called safe zone. So I'll just quickly share my screen to show you what I've done for my Facebook group page. I'm getting confusing now. Facebook group cover image. Let's try not mix what I'm saying. So this is within my Canva. I have got the Pro, but you don't have to have the Pro. So I've set up, where's my thing? Okay, so this is my group image here. And so what I've done is you can now also have guidelines. If you haven't, this is quite a new feature. So these guidelines here, the sort of the ones going vertically, is kind of where I don't want to put anything below. So this means that on a mobile view, all of that will show, or at least in theory it should, but on a desktop, the top and bottom gets cropped. So I think I've used some in the past. So this is another example where I've used the elements before the guidelines were created. I just used a square that I then put on where I knew. So if I hide this, so this is an actual screen grab of when the new, I was using the new Facebook, and I was like, oh, well, that's messed everything up because that's really down there and it puts this big bar. So I use that as my reference point to be like, okay, well, I don't want anything too close to that. So that's what I've done there. Does that help a bit?
Yeah. If I try it and I get stuck, can I outside this Q&A?
Yeah, just so the Lovely Canva Crew Facebook group is there as a resource. You can share like what you're working on. So you can say, hey, I've uploaded it here in this group. Here's the link to my group. Do you mind having a look? And I can join your group and have a little look, or have a view of that. Or you can, you know, share anything that you're working on for any feedback.
I'll try that. Thank you very much for that. If I just disappear, it's because I've got to go.
That's no problem. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Who's next? Put your hand up. Serena, welcome. You're quite a new member to the Lovely Canva Crew.
Yes,
so thank you for joining us.
I saw you on the Ignite group and I wanted to join then and I hadn't got around to it until now. So
there we go. Wow.
So I haven't really started. As I said, I'm an English tutor, but I'm starting a new business in how to break through your fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
But I haven't even decided on my colours and they keep changing seemingly. I don't know why it's become such a huge issue. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so I went through this branding course with Trudy Avery, which was an amazing course.
Yes. Yeah.
And I decided on some colours, and some other issues came up. Like she said, before you choose your colours, make sure that they are definitely CMYK. And I thought, sure, that sounds easy enough. I went into Canva and I just couldn't figure it out. So it's all in RGB colors. And I figured, okay, if I'm going to choose colors, I suppose they all have to be CMYK in case I want to print them.
Yes.
How does that work?
No. Okay. So when as a designer, because I do branding as well, when I create a logo in another program, I use Illustrator, which is an Adobe software. Yeah. I do put it in CMYK, or better yet, you can use something called Pantone, and those are both printer recognized colors. And because the problem of RGB or hex codes, which is what Canva uses, is that it's optimized for screen, and so the color is created with light. So when you then print it, the colours will shift a bit. There are certain colours that dull down, and they are blues, particularly like really, really like fluorescent vibrant blues. You wouldn't be able to achieve that unless you had a Pantone colour, or it's also called a special, which is like a pure, a specially made colour to be quite vibrant, like that, you know, particularly fluorescent. And another colour that can dull down a bit is oranges. So it's not to say that you can't create everything in Canva. It's just having that knowledge that it may, if you print some business cards out or some flyers, there will be a colour shift, that there may be not the same vibrancy, or they'll look slightly different. So it's okay to continue using Canva or create a whole branding thing in Canva, but it's understanding that how it looks on screen and how it will print out will be different. So in a wonderful, beautiful, ideal world, yes, you would have them in CMYK. But for the purpose of doing stuff on Facebook and online, you'd want them in hex colours and RGB for use on screens anyway. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Get the colours looking how you like it on your screen, but with the caveat of that it may look slightly different on other people's screens, because they're going to be calibrated differently, but you can only work with what you're working with and get it looking right with that. So I wouldn't worry too much about that at this time. Focus on getting the colours to a point which you like. There are ways of reversing it and picking colours that are CMYK or Pantone that are close enough to that RGB. So it's a bit clunky, and it's not always 100%. It's easier to go from CMYK or Pantone to RGB or hex color rather than the other way. But don't worry too much about that at this stage. Just get it done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Sarah Nicholson has asked a question here. Can I just check how we can get to work out the depth of the header and footer on the banner so the data isn't lost on the different platforms? You spoke about a screen grab. How did you get it back into Canva? And what was the sizing for Facebook event posts? So a screen grab is just where you're doing like a screen capture of your screen as you view it. You can obviously do it on your phone, so you can sort of have that as a resource, but also by on your phone I mean doing a screen grab like within your phone, rather than I don't mean taking a picture with your phone of your screen. Getting complicated here. But yeah, so there's different shortcuts depending on what your document is. I can share what like my screen grab, as it were, or where the safe zones are. I can share that into the group, and you can just download it and upload it into your Canva, and then you can mark out either using the guidelines that I showed you, or using, you know, the Elements tool and making a semi-transparent box across those sort of areas that will be cropped in the desktop. You do need to make sure that when you come to download it, you make a copy of that page and remove those sort of red areas or what other colour you use to block it out, because you don't want them to be like uploaded into your Facebook, because you would see all of that. Okay, so event page, I have done Facebook page. Bear with, I've got it somewhere else. Event covers. I thought I had it ready to go. I'll come back to you on that one. I'm just got to open up Photoshop. I thought I had it all very cleverly, and I can't see it. Ah, here we go. So an event page in pixels, I've done it, and this may not be perfectly correct, but it's what I've used, is 2484, and that's the width, and a height of 1291 pixels, and that's for an event in Canva. Event in Facebook, sorry. Okay, Zoe has put in, Adobe Color is a free website that gives all the color codes for any particular color. it also helps with colours that work well with each other. Yep, that's true. It doesn't, I can't remember if it has, can you share the link for that, Zoe? If you can share that in the chat, and I'll make sure to put that in with the recording of this. Okay, anyone else? Is there anything you want to add, Laura Ann?
No, I think you've pretty much covered it.
Okay. How have you found, just to sort of segue slightly, sort of pick your brains, with managing other people's social media and everyone having different things that they're doing? How do you find doing their covers and stuff? Is that something that people get wrong a lot and you're having to sort of create that for them as part of your package? What do you do?
I generally do create covers as part of the package. Mostly I actually use a Facebook cover as a call to action.
Yeah.
So whatever your offering is, so for example on your Canva Crew, you've got the membership price on there.
Yeah.
Fantastic, because you're it's one of the first things that people are going to see when they actually land on your Facebook page or in your Facebook group is going to be the cover. So you may as well get the most out of it.
Well, it's like a billboard, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. And I tend to actually have a call to action on the design. So like click here to XYZ, and then I put the link where I want people to go to actually in the image caption.
Yeah.
Also, if it was, for example, if I wanted someone to sign up to a newsletter, I would have click here to sign up actually on the image. Yeah. And then in the image description, I'd have the link that people can click through to.
And I guess you can be a bit cleverer with that, even certainly within a Facebook page, because don't you get one button where it's a call to action? So you could make that the same kind of, so that they can actually click on an actual button.
Yeah. So it's kind of, like I said, it's just maximising on the visual potential that you've got there.
Yeah. Has anyone else got any questions? Serena, you got another question?
Sorry, just if there's no one else, if no one has another one. Yeah.
Just go for it. I'm sure we can fit another couple more in. Okay.
So one of the things that I've struggled with Canva is that there's normally when you want to design something, a great shape to use is a rectangle, isn't it? Just like you've used your square, and then you put your text in. Yeah. So a rectangle is another really fantastic shape to use, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't find any shape without a shadow in Canva. Is there a shape that you can just go into shapes and find a rectangle so that you can put some text?
Yeah. I'll bring back my screen.
Not in the pro version though.
Yeah, no, there is. I'll just.
Sorry, it's a very basic question, but I've looked.
No, it's fine. I mean, although we're sort of focusing in on Canva, it's sort of, we're here to sort of cover all bases. So in Elements, you've got the shapes. There is a square which has got nothing on it. So if I make it a luminous color and bring it to the front. So although it looks like a square, we can make it any kind of rectangle by using that, because there's we've got different ways of interacting with that shape here, you see. So you've got the middle one, which is quite flat, adjust the height. If you want to proportionally scale it, you take the corner, which is a circle, and if you want to put it at a jaunty angle, there's this one here which has got two arrows sort of in a circle. So you can manipulate it in different ways. So that's where you can kind of customize that size.
You can change the opacity of it as well.
Yeah, so this one here, which looks like a sort of racing flag, so you can change that here. So this is how I created my sort of areas of where I sort of didn't want to, have it sort of, or where it's going to be cropped on the desktop view. so that I could see it behind.
And you've got a gradient on yours. Is that something you could do on the free version?
The gradient, that's a bit of a designer cheat there. I actually created that in a different software. However, having said that, I have done a one-to-one with a client where we used, and she had a free thingy. Brain is like getting some brain farts now. She has got the free Canva membership. Right, so if we go into elements and click gradient, there's all of these ones here. So I don't think, yes, you can actually customize them. So you could do them like that. So this one, you can't actually, there isn't, can you see there's no middle toggle there? So this one is fixed, it's a square and it's tough. But you can make it so it's so big, you can put it to the back, and then you can customize that to any size. And by hovering over that device, it does say that that one is free. There will be some blobs here that won't be free, but it will be quite clear that it's not. So you could add any of those elements there. I think some of them won't allow you to change the colors, some of them do. So, you know, that's another way of adding that. So I've done it through layering of, they're basically images that I've added in and played around with it. So I've got quite a lot of customization with that.
Thank you, that's really useful.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else? We've got about sort of about 10 more minutes left if anyone has got a couple of questions. Petra, if you just unmute yourself, ask away.
Yeah, you're just showing your design just now and you've got this lovely grid line on there. How do you activate that?
I can show you again.
Oh, it's the new feature. Where did you turn it on?
So it's, you go to File, you go to, I do show rulers and show guides. You can also show margins, which gives you a sort of dotted line of a suggested kind of margin that you wouldn't go past. I tend to not have that on, so you can just click on it and hide, and that removes the margins. You can, so as a default, you don't see the margins or the rulers. So you go to File, you go, I tend to go Show Rulers, and then I go Show Guides. So when I close this document down and then reopen it, those guides won't show as default, but they will still be there. So those guides were from what I created before, so they won't be deleted. Canva will remember them. It's just a default that they don't show them, and they won't print out either. So you don't have to.
So you have to turn them on every time you want to use them. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering what happened.
Yeah, so they're a very new feature. You can also show print bleed as well. So this is where, if I zoom in, this is if you're doing a printed item, like a flyer or something like that. So this dotted line here is the edge of the document, and then there's typically 3 mil of bleed. I've done a talk about bleed. So if for those that are watching this now or on replay, check out that. But this is a new feature where you can actually see how much extra there. So if this was a printed item, you would want to make sure that I can't grab it. This thing here doesn't just go to the edge, because if you didn't have it going up, when it gets cropped to the edge of that document, there's that danger that there could be like a white tiny hairline margin. So anything, if it's printed, it does have to be beyond the frame by 3 mil, and it's nice that they show that now. So we can hide that guide. Okay, anyone else? No? Okay, I just wanted to sort of mention that Canva has quite recently, as in I just saw the news over the weekend, launched a scheduler within Canva. It's only available to those who've got Pro, Oh, Zoe's got a virtual hand up. What's that, Zoe? Or is that
I've got a new group business t-shirt printing.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble populating and converting within my Facebook page.
What do you mean?
If there's any, I'm struggling to get people into the page.
So is it a page or a group?
It's a page.
Okay. So you're wanting to increase your likes?
Yeah, and then make conversions on it. I
guess
feel like
that's where
I know what I should be doing, but I don't know.
This comes down to sort of more of a like networking thing, of that it's going to take time to build that up, but it also comes into having content that you're sharing within, and I guess also the way that people interact with a page is different with a group, and I'm sure Laura Ann would agree with me there, because a group is about the community, it's more about interaction, whereas on a page you don't really, anyone else's contribution is sort of hidden away a bit. I see the Facebook page as almost like an extension of your website. It's more like the parent, so you can still like provide lots of great information on there, you know, videos, show behind the scenes. Maybe it's worth having a chat with Laura Ann about booking on sort of one of her workshops about you know, creating a social media plan. You know, you're not going to have a great following on your Facebook page immediately. Like I'm growing mine. I mean, even Laura Ann, I had a look at your likes. It's not a great amount. It's not massive, but then you've got like other priorities.
I really tend to use my Facebook page as a way to get business. I use LinkedIn more.
Yeah.
And then I use the my social climbers group.
Yeah, which is your group.
More active than my Facebook page. So to me, the Facebook page is more there as an online business card.
Yeah. So you can put stuff on it.
Real, and I do post to it, but I don't expect to get a huge amount of engagement from it.
Yeah, I think so. It's worth having a chat with Laura Ann and seeing how you can have a plan of action to go from like what people are doing with liking your page, and then what, you know, what do you want them to do next? What's that call to action? And how are you engaging with people? It's much more than just, here you go, here's my in effect shop front. You've got to do so much more than just exist. I did a bit of a Facebook campaign for myself where I just went through all of my friends, you know, within Facebook, and invited them to like my Facebook page, whether they were my client or not, because they might know people. And I just thought, sod it, they might not know what I do, or I might have met them through networking, and yeah, they should like my page. They don't have to. So I did grow my likes that way, because before I was like, oh no, I keep it separate. Whereas I was getting a few people going, oh, like this page or like my page, and I'm like, yeah, all right then, you know, I'll help you out. And I was like, well, why won't people do that for me? Not everyone will like your page, but think about that, you know, sharing it within your network, you know, your friends list as well.
Yeah.
If they don't know you that exists, how are they going to like it?
Add it to your email signature as well. That's normally quite a good one to do. So you know, on your email signatures, we normally have like the little logos for Facebook, Instagram, whichever, and you can hyperlink to your profile.
Yeah.
On those. So that's normally quite a good one to do. Because even if people click through to it by accident, once they're there, they're there.
Yeah, another thing to do is also think about how you can network within Facebook. So online, you know, what groups can you join that your customer base might be? Be very active when people say, share your Facebook links, you know, support businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, be sure to be tagging on that. I need to have a real cough, so I'm going to mute myself again.
Okay.
Okay, better. The joys of doing a lot of talking.
Yeah.
So is there anyone else who's got a question before we sort of wrap up? Stephanie, do you want to add anything? You sort of are in the marketing world. Put you on the spot here.
One of us.
I honestly, I can't think of, I wanted to come on this as a sit back and listen, and I've actually learned a lot. So thank you so much to everyone for the questions that you've asked, because there's stuff on, I've been using Canva for quite a while now, but obviously there's the stuff that actually Mary Louise, you were saying in the previous BizCon meeting really helped me as
Brilliant.
well. Yeah, about, so thank you for that as well, because it's easy to turn to Canva just for marketing and campaign purposes. And actually when you're coming into, you know, I recently just did a marketing report for my boss, and I could have done it on Canva and I didn't.
Yeah, there's loads of great features like charts and infographics and stuff. I've been finding that I'm doing more and more stuff in Canva, and it's just about, there's a sense of familiarity, you know, like anything, if you think about what your skill set is, you know, you may not be a trained designer, but over time you'll see what looks good. But also for those that are, you know, your own, it's your own business, and that you've got to be your own brand ambassador. You know, so it ties in a bit with what probably Trudy Avery has discussed in her branding course about, you know, you're championing your own brand. You've got to make sure that it is consistent, that it looks good, and you're not going to get it all right at the beginning, but it's about giving it a go and improving, learning, you know. And like I said, the Lovely Canva Crew Facebook group it's a resource for you guys. So if you've got any questions, you want to share stuff that you're working on, there's no such thing as a stupid question in my mind, because if you're asking that question, there'll be other people wondering the same thing. I've got people joining the group who've got, like, they've never even opened up an account with Canva, but have heard about this thing called Canva and want to start using it. So we can all help each other with people being at different levels of experience. And I've had people who have been using Canva for a long time, not realizing that they've launched the you know, the guidelines, and they're always adding things, changing things. So I probably don't know everything. My big thing is I'm looking at how to make use of the video feature, so that I can then not only use it to help promote myself, but also then I can train you guys how to do it. So every day's a school day, as they say. Yay.
Can I just double check something actually?
Yeah.
The dimensions for the Facebook cover, please.
Which one? A page or a group?
A page.
So, because
yeah,
they're all
page.
different. I've got it on my to-do list to like do a sort of like a cheat sheet with it all there. So clearly I've got to do it. So a page, I've got mine at 820 by 462 pixels. So I do it as a custom size. And then, yeah.
That's really helpful, thank you.
But what I'll do is maybe I'll sort of download sort of where there's the sort of safe areas and stuff like that with the sizes, and get that done. It's been on my to-do list for a long time, and clearly if I talk about Facebook, I should share all the things that I've been learning about it, including the sizes. Okay, I'm going to wrap up there now. So thank you so much for those joining us live. I hope you found that useful, and those watching on replay, I hope you found that useful too. The next one will be on the 4th Wednesday of next month, whatever date that is. I will update the cover image, so it will show the next date in there. It will be the same Zoom details up until December. Have a good rest of the day and the rest of the week, and keep sharing in the Canva crew. Take care now. Bye everyone.
Bye.